learning session for January 19th. I have a few comments to share with you in the next few moments. Just as a quick little side note, breaks and lunch are, lunchtime is identified in the agenda, but it really will be flexible depending upon the facilitator and the needs of each of the specific groups. So just a quick side note pertaining to that. Very importantly, our common formative assessment goal first is for our participants, each one of you today, is we're trying immensely to differentiate your learning. What we mean by that particularly is each of you have been assigned or requested to be involved in a particular group, either a grade level group or a content specific group. So we're making a real big effort to have you have an opportunity today to work with teachers who are of similar content or grade level groups. Your specific goals for the day, number one, is to design your second formative assessment, or at least second from our October session. Hopefully you have collected some evidence from that session or that formative assessment that you conducted in October and have brought it today to analyze that student evidence. If for some reason that was not something that was attainable, hopefully maybe you have some other student evidence that you can share with your group today and potentially categorize different student needs based on that student evidence and share with your group how you might or did change instruction based on the evidence from that particular information that you brought today. So those essentially are our goals for today. This next slide provides you an overview of a suggested agenda that you will follow today. Obviously, as I mentioned a moment or two ago, this will probably be flexible across various groups, but it is important that you do achieve all of the goals for today. Another little side note would be that those of you who are taking the CFA course for credit, that you would send your information for credit to me at kstamp@gwaea.org within a week, so we can begin the process of reviewing your information and providing you feedback. Some resources that are available for each group and that your facilitator has at his or her fingertips, we hope and pray, would be one, some teacher testimonials regarding their perceptions, the teachers that have presented some testimonials to us of the impact of common formative assessment in their thinking and maybe implementing student instruction. Another, there's a short video on how to do a data team that we would very much like every team to engage in this morning. A further video is some information about proficiency scales. Some feedback we've received is people have diverse perspectives on what proficiency scales are. The intent of this video is to give a little bit more of a common understanding to all of you on what proficiency scales are and how you might be able to use them. Another item is there's a short video on unwrapping standards, or some information pertaining to unwrapping standards that you might want to take a look at, because it's our perception as we met with the leadership team planning the CFA session for today that there's diverse perspectives on how to unwrap standards. And the final resource that is available to each group pertains to how to write effective questions for a formative assessment. Many of us, I suspect, over time often use textbook questions or questions from other vendors, and here's an opportunity for us to write questions that stimulate high-level thinking from our students. So this particular resource provides you some additional information about writing high-quality questions. Our big goals again for today, in kind of a quick summary, is to have all of us focus on this key skill or key understanding as we proceed through a particular unit of instruction, regardless of the content area that we want our students to accomplish. Again, it's an opportunity for us as similar groups to come together and think maybe a little differently than we have sometimes in the past, and more deeply than maybe occasionally we do in the past, about the key skill or the key understanding that we want students to acquire. I think also this is a great opportunity for us to be with similar teachers in their content area to share work that we're doing in our classrooms and prepare for future work in our classrooms with others rather than just working in our own classroom in our specific silo that we have in our school, maybe. Another hope for today is that all of us will create an assessment that we will implement between now and when we come back together with a particular group of students that is aligned closely to a prioritized standard that we're going to be instructing our students on. And the final item, as we've talked about before, even in October, is the goal isn't really in this case to implement an assessment and attach a grade to the students' work, but it's to implement an assessment, analyze the information we receive from the students, and think about how we plan future instruction based on the assessment evidence that we acquired from the students. So these are our big goals for today. I'm thrilled that you're here, and I hope you have a very productive day. So best wishes for a productive and enjoyable day. If at any point in time you have issues, please let your facilitator know, and he or she does have my cell phone, and I'll be with your group as quickly as I possibly could to try to iron out any difficulties. So again, best wishes for a very productive and enjoyable day.